Ariana Grande with Problem on 88.2 Sanyo FM. It's the hit selector, and I'm excited. I would like to welcome my guest today, NTV News anchor Faridah Nakazibwe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Crystal. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
How's your Saturday?
It's beautiful. The weather has changed a little bit.
Thankfully,
it's a little bit cold. Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, maybe because I'm here.
I think so. I think you're my good luck
I usually
charm.
don't like these things. Probably that's why God has decided, let's have some rain.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I see you've come with your two little ladies.
Oh, yeah. Those ones.
Uh-huh.
We are twins. Triplets.
Triplets.
Best friends.
You were telling me that Saturday is actually your family day.
Yes.
You and your daughters.
Yes, that's when we decide to eat out. That's when I take them playing. They love the bouncing castles, swimming. That's when mommy is available all day. So when you invited me, I was like, Saturday? That's why sometimes I would turn you down because we are going somewhere. We've already planned. So today I was like, let's go together. From there, we go have dinner and go back home.
I totally understand. I'm a mama too, so I totally understand.
I know. You're beautiful girls and boys. I just showed them a picture on Instagram. This is the Crystal that invited us here.
Okay, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So, my dear, we like to get to know you on this show. Basically, get to know who you are, the kind of music that you like. So, maybe you could start right now by just letting us know where you grew up.
Oh, I grew up deep down in Zimbabwe. It was part of the Greater Masaka then. It was still Masaka district before it was divided into small districts. Was it in 2001? No, 19-something. 1994, 95. No, I think 1999.
Okay.
That's when it was cut off and we found ourselves in Zimbabwe district. Yeah, but I've been to different places. I've been to Zimbabwe. We were there until my senior for vacation. We moved to Masaka town after we got another home. But I was also in Luengo. That's where my dad did most of his work. I was also in Chivale, Kagadi, for a few months. Every year, because my dad also used to do business there. Sometimes he would take us along. So you see, this business of carrying people along is not for me. It comes from way back, my parents. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what about school?
School, I didn't go to many schools. I went to Kisozi Boarding Primary School before it was turned into the Ranchers, President's Ranch Farm. I went to Bwala Primary in Masaka, Bwala Primary School, and Taiba. Before I went to university, Islamic University in Uganda.
I wanted to ask you about your time at Taiba, because there was a time when Taiba was that school that had quite a reputation. Were you there at that time? Or?
That's Taiba High School. You know there too?
Okay.
Yeah, Taiba High School and Taiba International. Okay. I went to Taiba. This one is still new. I went to Taiba High School.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we were new because it was one of those first girls' school, girls only. Yeah, we were the Muslim girls with a little bit of style, if you can call that. And it was just a secondary school. We used to have the normal life. We didn't have a lot of... Yes, we used to go out sometimes. For example, your house, you know those school houses. You perform well, they take you out to the beach. You spend a whole day there. We used to have vigas, like we used to call them, on Saturday once in a month, I think. Yeah, and we would enjoy. Then later on, it was boarding school. You go back home.
Then you went to one of the strictest universities in Uganda.
IU. Yeah, but I loved it there. I went crying.
Oh,
I was crying because, you know, when you're in secondary school, the only thing you think about is Makerere University. I'm going to Makerere University. But somehow, because I studied with my sister all through, the one who follows me, Dad was like, no, let me separate these two. You learn to live separately. So she went to Makerere. She was younger, and because there was a brother there already, and my dad decided, okay, let Faridah go to Mbali. I was crying, but when I got there, because life there it was like secondary school. And I was used to this calm, simple life, and I would stay indoors all through until end of term or semester. You go back home. I wouldn't even leave the campus unless there's something like what. I think the only time I left campus is when my dad died.
This is like throughout.
No. During the terms.
During the terms.
Yeah, during the term. I would be indoors. We used to call it Kaswampa because it was fenced. No boys coming in.
Okay.
The boys were not allowed in. Only girls. So I loved being in. I only went off to go to class, maybe library once in a while. From class strictly back to my Kaswampa, because that is when we took the veil off. That's when you wore your pants and move around. That's when we were very free to do anything. You know, in ballet, you associating with boys, socializing around freely is restricted.
Exactly.
So for me, it was normal. I'd been to Taiba girls' school, and this one was like a girls' school also.
All right. People say that, you know, normally, especially coming from girls' schools, when young ladies go to a university, which is normally a lot more relaxed, and now you're actually interacting with boys, that it's a difficult transition. Now, for you went from the high school
for me,
it was
university. It was normal. It was
normal.
very normal for me.
But did you ever feel like you had an issue? Maybe
no, I didn't, because from when I was a baby, that is the kind of life I lived. At home, it was strictly their mommy, daddy, period, in a very big perimeter wall. No free movement. You only leave when you're going to hospital, when they decide to take you and see Georgia for a few weeks. For me, it was normal.
So it was life as you know it.
As usual.
So I always ask myself, like in a strict university like that, do you actually able to date someone? Did you have a boyfriend at the time?
People do, but you know, it's not, like I said, it's not as free as you would want it to be. It is actually a crime to date. Usually they encourage people to get married. If you see someone, you know you love each other, you know you're sure, they would encourage you to get married. If you're free and you're fine with it, you move out. Stay with him outside.
Okay.
So they find you with a man, they suspect something. Usually when you want to sit with someone of the opposite side, there's another one supposed to follow you. Your girl, you want to sit with a guy,
so you have to have an
somebody
escort
must be around to avoid suspicion. They see you together.
Just the two of you?
You will be summoned to the disciplinary committee.
Wow, that's pretty strict.
Yes. For me, I had nothing. I had no issue with it. Even in secondary school, Dad would drop us there. They come visit. They go back. They come pick us at the end of the term. So even during day offs, they used to give HSCs day offs, 1 day in a week. In a month. Yes. Yeah, that's a Saturday. You go in the morning, come back in the evening. Sometimes we didn't even know where to go. So we'd go along, we'd go along with friends. I had a good friend. Unfortunately, she passed on as we entered uni. But she's the one I used to go with my sister. But for me, it was life as usual. And I grew up an innocent girl.
Well, not many people can say that. You actually did mass communication.
Yes, I did.
At university. Did you always know that you wanted to work in the media? That's what you wanted to do?
Not really. But somehow along the way, I zeroed in on it. Because I was confused when I was young. I didn't know what to do. I thought I'd be a beautician, because even my mom thought so, because I was the girl that would clean the whole house for about 4-6 hours. You're doing only that. From 9 after breakfast, you tell everybody, take whatever you want from the house. I'm going to clean. No disturbances. So I would clean under the bed, everywhere. I was the one that would cut people's hair. Even when nobody taught me to do so. I was the one who shaped their eyebrows, who shaped their foreheads. Nobody taught me that. Wow. I was the one who combed their hair. Even at school, I would cut their hair. So I was always the smart one. I'm the one who cared what I wear. Is it well matched? So my mother was like, what kind of girl is
she? She thought you'd definitely end up in the beauty industry.
Yes, and sometimes my dad would ask, what do you want to be? And I'm like, I want to be a secretary. Even when I didn't know exactly what a secretary did. But because I would see them busy on a computer or typewriter, they are very busy. Everybody walks in, hello, how are you? You're the ones receiving some people. Then somehow they were worried. You know, there are things our parents don't usually want to happen to their daughters. Everybody wants their child to be a lawyer. They want them to be
An
a
engineer.
teacher. One of those professions that we are used to. And we get to uni. I told them I want to do mass communication. Dad said, because I knew I wouldn't do these, the BT beat and what, it wasn't even an option there. So I decided I can get a course where I can eventually reach out to people. I can teach them I can host people to guide them on how to do what I would love them to know to do. I can talk to them on what I think I know. And then I said, I'll do mass communication. That way I'll meet people.
A different platform, huh?
Yes, and he wanted me to be a teacher. He wanted me to do education. Why? Because most of all the others wanted to be doctors, wanted to be, the first one was a civil engineer. He was doing civil engineering. My other sister was into tourism. So he said, and he wanted the others to be doctors, to be those lawyers. In fact, we have a lawyer, we have an IT specialist. But I told him, I don't want to be a teacher. I can be anything but a teacher.
You were sure.
Yes. He tried to convince, he talked to some sheikh. They were friends. He talked to him to try to convince me into doing education. I told him, please, sheikh, don't tempt me into disobeying you, but I'm not going to do education. He even got to a point of telling me he's going to construct me a school. I was like, thank you.
But no.
But you'll give it to the others.
Okay.
I can't stand chalk. First of all, I'm the shy type. So I couldn't stand standing before
and talking in front of a big group of people every day.
Yeah, I'm usually a low person. I mean, I can't speak loudly. I couldn't speak to a big classroom, big class of people. I told him, no, Daddy, please let me do what I feel I can handle. So he let me be. I went on with my mass communication. I didn't specialize in anything. We did everything, radio, TV, writing, and PR. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to ask you for, because people want to know what kind of music you like. Your first request on the show today,
I
Sauti Soul. You mentioned that you did mass communication at university, and you didn't major in anything. You did a bit of radio, a bit of TV, a bit of print. So from there to where you are now, NTV, what was your first step when you finished university?
Immediately, I asked my mom. I didn't want to sit down for long. So she has a friend, Hajat Sarah of Brevard Hotel in Masaka Town. She asked her if I could come in and help out as I looked for a job somewhere else. So she accepted. I went and did some work. I was a waitress for a month as I looked around. I didn't look so much because I didn't even know so much where to start. But the minister for finance then was a very good friend to my dad, Honorable Sendaula, very good friends. Okay. So my mom called him and told him, one of your friend's daughters is done with school. She did mass communication and she would love to go do TV. She told me she loves TV. So he was like, Gordon is my friend. That's Wavamono, WBS.
Yes.
And he said he was going to talk to him and see what he could do for me. So he told me, I think they talked that very day. He called Mama and told her, tell her to get ready to come to town, we were in Masaka, to come to town and meet Gordon.
Okay.
So we came, still with my mom. I was the baby till. So we came with mom, yeah. I think she didn't trust me coming to town by myself.
She was protecting you.
Yes, she was. So we went to WBS. They asked me what I wanted to do. I told them I wanted to report news. I wanted to read it, even when I didn't have any experience. So they gave me a chance, took me to studio for a screen test. They told me my voice wasn't good enough, but they gave me a chance to go do reporting. I couldn't anchor because my voice was weak, I think, or bad, not good enough. So I stayed in, did reporting. They trusted me with a show, a show. It was called On the Road. It was a traffic show. That is after, I think, 7 or 6 months into the job. It was called On the Road. It aired thrice a day. I mean, thrice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think I did it very well. Boss was impressed.
Okay.
That's where I started. I didn't get a chance to anchor until I left. That's when NTV advertised. I applied, and here we are. Because they had discouraged me. My voice wasn't good enough.
So you never
I didn't
felt
even
like you
bother.
wanted to try?
No, I didn't bother applying for that. I applied for reporting and editing news. So before the interview panel, they gave me a script and asked me to read it out. I did. They told me to translate it into Luganda. I did and read out. And they told me, okay, we'll get back to you. So 3-4 days later, they called me to come sign my contract. And Job was anchoring. So here we are.
So it's one of those things in life. I mean, one person will say, no, this won't work. And then another opportunity will come somewhere else.
Yes.
Were you surprised when you were given the news anchoring position?
No, I wasn't. Well, I was, for them to trust a voice that had been rejected somewhere else. But I knew when given the opportunity, I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how
I'm
long have you been with NTV now?
For 10 years, since inception. I'm a pioneer.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. So did you find that, the transition from moving from WBS to NTV, was it very different? Was the working environment different for you?
It was all news, yes, but it was, these people had, should I call it state-of-the-art
Equipment?
technology, yes. And then WBS, we used to have a system where it's a reporter with a camera person. They go to the field, do whatever they do, come back, the reporter takes it on as the cameraman does something else. So here, we're trained as visionaries. We were there for 3 months. Training, only training. Here were visionaries. They're called visionaries. You do everything by yourself. You report, you do your camera work, come back, you write your script, you do your editing until it is ready to go on air.
Okay, so they made sure that you could work alone and
Yes,
deliver
so
a story.
they gave us a chance to be versatile. I handled the camera, and by the way, I'm very good at camera work. Yeah, allow me to blow my trumpet. Yes, I am. Yeah.
So wow, that's interesting. Okay, so right now, I mean, you've been on TV for more than 10 years, let's just say, because from the time of WBS. Do you feel that, this is the perfect job for you, or do you still feel like maybe you should have tried your beauty side to things? Maybe you should have been a beautician? Or have you found a way to do it as well on the side?
I do it to myself and to my girls. Yes. I also do a little shaving for people who can trust me. Family, generally. I do it to my mom, play around with her head. I do it on my sisters. I haven't really bothered to go take it on. I tried selling clothes. Tried to enter into fashion. Into selling clothes, but when you're not available all the time, things didn't work out as I thought. But I may venture into it, but I'm okay. I'm okay where I am, maybe because I haven't tried so hard the other side. I know I can do anything when I set my hands and my heart to it. I know I can do it. One day when I decide to, probably I will get it, but for now I can say I'm comfortable where I am with the experience I have gained. I am comfortable, but I know I can do better.
Okay.
Either here or somewhere else.
I like the sound of that. So I'll ask you now for your next song, Lillian in Babazi.
Yes, Lillian. I love Lillian. She has a very, very beautiful voice. She's beautiful. She has a beautiful voice. She's a very good performer. I've listened to her sing live without any instruments or anything. She's beautiful. Please play for me her Simple Girl.
It is a hit selector on 88.2 Sanyu FM, the home of today's best music. And on Celeb Select right now, I'm Crystal, by the way. I am chatting with the lovely Faridah from NTV, Uganda. Now, you mentioned how you love beauty and you thought at some point you'd become a beautician. And you have always been hailed as a woman who's very elegant, who has a style of her own. I've seen you, you're poised. How did you become like that? Have you always just had it in you, or did you ever learn how to sit properly and carry yourself?
I think that some things just come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you I went to school for it. I can't tell you I saw it. I saw somebody do it. I don't know, it just comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But during the few months we trained for TV, the ladies, we had a chance to get people from BBC.
Mm-hmm.
During that time.
Mm-hmm.
They came, they would teach us some of these basics. How do you sit? How does a lady sit?
Mm-hmm.
Even as a lady, you must know some of these things.
You'd be surprised how many people are clueless.
I know. I know some people may not get it, but there are things that are supposed to come with a lady.
Mm-hmm.
You have to first accept I am a lady, and there's some things I have to do a bit unique.
Yes. And when it comes to your style, I mean, your style tends to be, again, elegant. It's not revealing, but always a tiny bit of sexy as well. Do you have a stylist? Do you have anyone who influences you when it comes to your fashion, your style?
I can't say I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a stylist, but I think it comes still to knowing who you are and what you are and
Mm-hmm.
what you want. I think you have to know your body. I know my body type and I know what suits my body, and that's what I go for. I have a particular lady who gets me clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but she does most of my wardrobe. But wherever I find something good, I will take if I can afford it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll look at something, I'll know this is good for me, this is not. And I'll go for it.
You've gotten to that point. It's really nice when you can just look at an outfit and you're like, that will not work for me. I'm going to ask you a question that is really about us women and how we are with our body. Is there any part of your body you don't like?
Which one now?
You know, something like, oh,
which one?
I don't like my boobs, they're too small. I don't like my bum, it's too big.
Which one? I think let me appreciate God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no part of my body I don't like.
Yes.
Even the hair, I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
The hands, generally I'm appreciative. Let me
Mhm.
just thank him for, even if I didn't like it, what would I do about it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
just
a good
thankful.
attitude. Because you hear women all the time
Complaining.
saying this, that, but that's what God gave you. You have to work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's enough, and usually it's enough. What he gave you is for a reason, and you can do some. You can't change it, but there is a way you can make it look a little bit better by sexing it up. You need help sometimes.
Yeah.
If you can't handle, you ask someone who does it better, or somebody you admire. Tell them, what can I do? There are people you find, yes, the boobs are a little bit big, but they don't even know which bra is good for them.
Yes.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
ask around.
Okay. All right. So your daughters, how old are your daughters?
One is 9, the other is 6.
And you met their father when you were working at WBS?
Yes.
You were working together then?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a good relationship?
Oh yes, because there's not much there's no reason for us to have a bad relationship, because at the end of the day we have them,
Okay.
the kids, and we have to play the role of parents.
Mhm.
So
Did you think you would get married back then at that time?
yes, I thought so.
Mhm.
I actually thought so. Even when I know most of the things were against us.
Mhm.
Family,
Family was against you?
because of the religious bit of it.
Mm.
I also never knew it would ever happen to me because my dad was a religious guy, so am I, so is my mom,
Mhm.
and most of family. And one of the things I never knew I would do is that.
Okay.
But God does things His way. That's why sometimes I learn to never say never,
Mhm.
because things will happen and you don't know how they happened, but they have.
Okay.
So it didn't strike me then. I went on, like I told you, I was an innocent, naive girl.
Mhm.
I took things as they came. I didn't think so much into them, but we tried to push it. eventually we agreed. It won't work out, but we had these little girls and we really wanted to give them a good life. So we agreed to let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and we
right.
are happy. We are both happy.
Well, I'm
Okay,
happy
at
for
least
you.
I am happy.
What you know about him, though?
I
being
assume
honest.
he is. I
Okay.
assume he is.
Okay, and then there were quite a few interviews done at a point where it was quoted for you to be dating a much older gentleman. I know a lot of people have asked me to ask you this. Were you actually dating?
What does dating mean?
Look at her dodging this question.
No, I'm not dodging it. But remind me.
Were you just
Dating-
spending time together, or were you in a relationship with Chigongo?
It was a brief relationship.
Okay.
It was a brief one that didn't work out. I told somebody not all relationships are supposed to enter into marriage. Sometimes we enter them expecting something. It doesn't work out, and you don't strangle yourself. You don't push on even when you hurt. You let it go. So I was like, no, this is not what I want, and I'm out. And indeed, I went out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people come into your life, as they say, for a reason. Some people come into your life for
Very
a
true.
season. And now you've met someone very special.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. You should see the smile on her face right now.
He is listening.
He's listening. Hello.
Hello.
Happy. So how did you guys meet?
Oh, okay. Where do I start from? I had never seen him. We had never met, though he told me he had seen me somewhere at the mosque after Friday prayers. But
Okay.
I didn't notice. I didn't see him. But he went on with his business. He didn't know how to reach me because he was never in the country.
Okay.
And I think he was also going through a relationship. Yeah, but he tried to get me. Eventually, when it didn't work out the other side, and he had seen this girl he admired, so he tried to contact me on social media. I don't take social media so seriously. If you want me, try not to get me through social media.
Someone has to find you physically.
Unless you get straight to the point.
Okay.
You want something to do with my work, get straight to the point. I'm so and so, Farida, I want us to talk about this and this. You're clear. But these things of coming, hello Farida, hello sweetie, I love you. Those ones, I won't take you seriously. So he tried to attract my attention through social media. Of course, I ignored him. Viber, Facebook, WhatsApp, all
of them.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my.
immediately WhatsApp, when he eventually got my number, immediately WhatsApped me, block.
He worked very hard.
Yeah, he did. He did, Bambi, thank you. So I tried to ignore him all through. He stuck to Messenger. He would text and text. I still ignored him until he flew to the country
Okay.
to see Farid.
Came to meet you.
So he came to the office and called me because he had my number. Said, I'm here and I'm not leaving unless you see me. I went to see this guy who is so brave at Atiabakulu. I went, I saw him. Surprisingly, I liked him. Immediately, just like you see somebody and something strikes you, and you give him chance to say what they have to say.
Okay.
So we talked. Why did you block me? I told him I didn't know you. Yeah, I didn't know you. So I unblocked him that day. We talked a little bit. He told me what he wanted. Immediately, he told me he didn't want a girlfriend. He wanted a wife.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He was straight to the point like that.
Yes.
He sounds like the kind of man who knows what he wants.
Yes, exactly. He told me, if you're looking for a boyfriend, I'm not the one. I want a wife. So I saw some seriousness in him, but of course, you don't conclude just like that.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, but I unblocked him. We chatted that night. The very first chat, he showed me all his family. So, Pola, I liked him. We went on. Because he had limited time into the country, he asked me to meet his family. I was like, what do you want to do to me? What if
Wow.
it doesn't work out? You can easily use this as blackmail. Faridah, you went met my family, now you're dumping me on what? I told him, I'm not coming.
You're like, I'm not going down that road.
Oh, yeah. But I gave him chance. I eventually went, met family, they liked me. Okay, at least they showed they liked me. They liked me. We are still on very good terms.
Okay.
That's how we kicked it off, and here we are.
I like that story. I like hearing about someone who's like, I've seen something I want and I'm going for it. Well, congratulations, you got married. I'm going to ask you for your next song right now. This one takes us back from Blue 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
Where You Are.
Have you ever had a point, especially since you decided, you said you're a shy person.
I am.
But you're on TV. How does it feel?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm sure this is a question people ask you a lot. How does it feel to be recognized all the time, for people to walk up to you and say, oh, I watch you on TV?
Sometimes I stay at home. I don't like very crowded places because, someone somewhere is going to spot you. And when they spot me and show it to me, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. But then you have to smile. You have to keep up. You don't have to feel, ooh, she's seen me. You have to smile, because at the end of the day, it's the reason she's making sure she shows it to you, because she's probably happy. She likes what you do for her, or she likes you as a person. So you have to move with the flow. But sometimes I stay at home because to avoid some of these scenarios.
So you're a private person.
I am.
Very private, huh?
I am.
Okay. You are an inspiration to many girls out there. They look
Really?
at you, they want to be like you. I mean, number one, I'll ask you how you stay in shape. Do you work out? Do you eat healthy?
I'm beginning to work out.
These are the people who are lucky in this life.
I'm beginning to work out and it's not because of the body or anything. I want to be fit. I have sometimes I take the stairs and I begin to pant like I've walked 20 miles. So I'm trying to cut on that. So, I think I may fall sick if I don't watch out. That's why I'm beginning to skip my rope, to walk. I drive my car over the weekend, park at Nambole, and try to walk around, to run a little bit and stretch, just for fitness purposes. But for the body, I'm just thankful to God.
Okay.
I'm just thankful, to my mother, because I think I take from her.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a lady who's been there 7 times, 8, and she lost her last baby at around 8 months. But
sorry about that.
yeah, there was supposed to be 8. Yeah, but she's still a shapely woman.
Okay.
I think I take from her. I don't struggle a lot to keep in shape.
Okay. So what have you learned along the way, especially as someone living, in the media? You're on TV all the time. You've been in the tabloids. I mean,
I have been in the tabloids. Yeah.
Hey, they really attacked
But
you.
one thing I'm thankful I've learned is you have to be strong at the end of the day. There are people who will do certain things just to see you fall. They want to be satisfied. Their issue is to see you fall, even when they know what they're saying is not true. Because there are things I read and I'm like, okay, that is news to me. But you can't show even the people you're with. I work in a newsroom. People have read things, but some of them don't want to show they've read, but they have read, and they are not saying anything to you. You don't want to show them it has really weakened you, it has blown you off. You have to, at the end of the day, go be the woman that you're supposed to be, even when you're hurting inside. You have to continue. At the end of the day, you break down, because there are stories I read, and they're saying I smile with my fans during the day and then cry in my bed at night. And I'm thinking, are they the people who come and knock at my window in the night? Yeah. So somebody writes something, she's looking for love on the internet, and you're like, okay, probably they are looking for money, yes, but why would you look for money this way? By creating stories.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, I learned to be a strong woman. I used to be the type that would cry when somebody said something about me. I woke up and I said, this is not something that is going to waste me. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to be around for some time on TV. If God wishes, I'm going to be around. So if they keep saying this, will I be crying all the time? No. At the end of the day, you have to be strong to make sure they cry. Yet their intention was to see you cry and breaking down.
Okay.
So they see you come. I have a daily show every day.
Yes.
So somebody's writing something about you every day. Are you going to walk onto the screen and you're crying all the time? And your viewers are like, what is wrong with her? What is she going to tell us? So you have to be strong. They've read something, but you're here smiling. She's just decided to get focused and not give them satisfaction.
Okay.
That's how I survived it. They wrote and outdid themselves until they couldn't write anymore.
Until they moved on to the next story.
To the next person, next victim. I hope they survive it too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome, Krista.
Any words of advice to someone who's trying to break out into, let's say, TV or the media? Any last words of advice?
Oh, yeah. People look at us and think we are superstars. Oh, we came from heaven. No, we didn't. There are people who will look at you and someone tells you, Faridah, let me touch you to make sure you're fine. But for God's sake, I am just like a simple girl all the way from Zimbabwe. Yes, it is something you learn eventually. It comes with practice. It comes with doing it often. I think I wasn't as good as I may be right now. Yeah, just get the opportunity. Yes, there are not so many opportunities. So many people would want to come and be like Faridah, but they are wondering which TV is going to take me on. And when they eventually do, will I be able to do it like she does? I also wasn't this good. That is if I am good. Only you can tell.
Yes,
yeah, I wasn't this good. But you come, create your own style. You don't have to be exactly what Faridah is, because you're not Faridah. Just know I want to be good. How do I be good? In my crystal body, not in Faridah's body. Yeah, and go for it. Seek for advice where you can. Try to look at yourself. Okay, I have done this dummy. Let me go through it. What should I perfect? Why should I change? Unfortunately, I hate to look at myself, so I never get chance to do that. I can't go to YouTube and search for marxism because I don't want to look at myself. I don't want to listen to myself talk. I don't know why I hate it. I don't know whether you like to listen to yourself.
There are very many of us who are like that. I don't know what it is, because I think you always look and sound different from what you actually think.
Maybe. But it is something I never enjoy to do. Even in the newsroom, when somebody plays my voice, I'm like, please.